hit some anytime goal scorers as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some freaking money. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. Jo here of SportsGrid. It's time to make some freaking money. That is for sure here with Pocket with Jo. We need a new day, new week, a bounce back from yesterday's games. I tell you, those games out there yesterday just did me completely dirty. The Edmonton Oilers. Firstly, I need a coffee for my coffee this morning. They kept me up in that overtime game. Thankfully, not double overtime, but not the game I expected. I expected LA to be able to hold on to that lead. So we'll look at that. We're also going to look at the fact the St. Louis Blues just dominated Connor Hellebuyck again. Not great to see yesterday. We did see Carolina get that big win in New Jersey, taking the lead in that series, a 3-1 now. So New Jersey with their backs up against the wall in their next game. And the Washington Capitals able to beat the Montreal Canadiens. So the favorites were dominant yesterday out there on the ice, except for the Winnipeg Jets, who I really did think would get a nice big win over the St. Louis Blues. So we're going to jump into today's games. We only have 2 on the board. I see all of you guys popping in here already. Let's make some freaking money. That is for sure. It's definitely party time. It's always party time. Blue, good morning to you. And you turned 2 into 70. Congratulations. Let me know what you got for that 2 into 70. Blake, you cashed. Aaron Judge, RBI, Cole Caulfield, goal, Derek White, assist and rebounds, and Leon for 2 points. Congratulations on that. Great way to go with the day yesterday. Yeah, there was some player props we were able to cash out there on Pocket with Jo from yesterday, but yeah, you would turn 200 into 7,000. It's pretty good. Pretty good, that's for sure. Okay, let's look at today's bets. So we've got 2 games out there on deck. We got the Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the Florida Panthers. The storyline of this series is road ice has been that advantage. The road team winning every single game thus far. So Florida went into Tampa. They won the first 2. Tampa returned the favor in game 3 in Florida. Now, then we've got the Colorado Avalanche taking on the Dallas Stars. Game 5 for these teams tied up 2-2 apiece. I didn't expect them to be tied up. I expected Colorado to finish this series pretty quick, in 6. So I need them to win the next 2 out here. Now going into Dallas, where they were able to win in game 1. So we'll see what we can get out of them. Let's break each and every game down. Then we'll go into the recap as always at the end, and those players for 2+ points that I'm liking. If you took Evan Bouchard yesterday for 2+ points of the Edmonton Oilers, he did get there, so we were able to cash on that. We also had someone for plus 420 for a goal in one of those games. Oh, Jake Neighbors. We got Jake Neighbors for that goal. A plus 420 for the St. Louis Blues. So even though we rode with Winnipeg, we had player props, cash. Kyle Connor got the goal. So it really offset the losses on the sides and the totals if we had totals in any of those games with those player props yesterday. So still a positive day. But let's get things going today. You had the Canes on the puck line, Blue. Good for you for having that faith in the Carolina Hurricanes. They came out so nice and strong. You're going to go with Florida on the money line and Dallas and the Avs for the overtime bet. I really do like that. That's a great way to look. 2 of the 4 games have gone to overtime. So it is a nice take there. The refs in the league on the board with the Vegas series win. Beware. Yeah, definitely beware. Kev, good morning to you. Thank you for being here. The Jets look in trouble. Yeah, they do. So let's see what they're able to do when they take that back home with Connor Hellebuyck. We've had a lot of goaltenders pulled out of these games. The Tampa and the Florida series, we haven't seen happen as of yet, but the next series that we'll be talking about, Colorado with Dallas, we did see Jake Ottinger pulled. We've seen Connor Hellebuyck be pulled. Sam Montague and Logan Thompson had to leave the ice because of injuries. So there's been a lot of things going on with these goaltenders. But let's jump into these odds. Tampa versus Florida. Okay, so overall odds are over on FanDuel right now as we speak, the Florida Panthers are a minus 146 favorite. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning rolling in at plus 122. We've got a total of 5.5. It is minus 108 to the over 5.5, minus 112 to the under. It's really interesting to see how dominant the kills have been. These power plays haven't been converting. You look at the last game, Tampa went 0-5 on the power play and still won it 5-3. Florida went 0-4 on that power play. I don't know how long special teams on the kill can be that dominant in this series. So it scares me a little bit looking at this total, because if those power plays start converting, we had 9 opportunities in the last game. A 5-1 game for Tampa, 9 opportunities between the two teams. No one converted. So that does worry me a little bit, because if those power plays start clicking for either of these teams, we're going to see this game fly over the total. Now, looking at goaltending, Bobrovsky's been the stronger goaltender of this series so far. He's had a shutout. We saw Florida win game 1, 6-2. They won game 2, 2-0. So Bobrovsky getting the shutout. So his save percentage over the series is a 903. When we look at Andrei Vasilevskiy here, he started all 3 games, of course. His save percentage just below 900, and it's at 890. When we look at him, though, I do think it should improve as the games go. But again, if that power play starts clicking, that's my concern. His regular season save percentage was a 932, and his road save percentage a 904. So he has got such solid numbers. The playoff number just dipped down a little bit here. So we've seen Florida win the first 2, like I said, and then Tampa answered back with game 3, that 5-1 win. They also were so strong on the faceoff, winning 57.4% of those faceoffs, 34 hits versus 43 hits. So the more physical was the Florida Panthers in the last game. 34 shots on goal for Florida. So Florida outshot them. They came against Andrei Vasilevskiy, who just didn't allow those goals to go in. And then we only saw 22 shots out of Tampa. So that means Bobrovsky, even though that save percentage is nice and high, that shutout comes into play, and he just didn't have the best game in that last game out there. So I'm looking for Bobrovsky to play better in this one. I think Florida can get the win here at home. The problem is I can't lay the juice on the Florida Panthers at minus 146. If you're okay putting that kind of juice in to a parlay or betting it straight up, and I don't recommend a lot of parlays because they can get hairy out there. You lose one leg and it's just all blown. But I do think the Panthers get the road trend off the back of the series. So it's no longer going to be that road team. I think Florida picks up the win. If Florida is going to pick up the win today, we're going to see Matthew Tkachuk scoring. Matthew Tkachuk for the anytime goal coming in at plus 145, or the power play point. Again, I think this power play has to start clicking. The power play points plus 200. Matthew Tkachuk for the anytime goal at plus 195. So take your choice between that. But we look at Matthew Tkachuk in this series, 3 goals and 1 assist in game 1. That's when the power play was clicking for both of these teams. Game 1, we saw the power play click. Game 2 and game 3, both teams denied those kills coming out nice and strong. But game 1, he had 2 goals on the power play, and he had 1 assist. So 3 goals overall in this series, 2 of those goals on the power play, and the assist in game 1. Nate Smith was held off the board in the last game. He's got 3 goals thus far, game 1 and game 2. Those goals came in. So we're also looking at Sam Reinhart has had a goal, 2 assists, and Sam Bennett, he's had a point in each game thus far, and it's really interesting looking at Sam Bennett. I love him for the point tonight. It's coming in at minus 104. When you got a point in each game so far and you're giving me a player at minus 104 for the point, I'm going to gladly step all over it, jump all over it. Sam Bennett, 2 goals and 1 assist. So between Bennett and Reinhart, you guys know I love the Sams out there on the ice. I do think Matthew Tkachuk parlayed with a combination of either Bennett or Reinhart is always a solid way to go. When we look at the other side of the ice, Braden Point has 2 goals for us. We've been able to cash both of those goals. Actually, we rode him in all 3 games so far for that goal or the point, and we were able to capitalize. Jake Gunsel coming in with 2 goals and 2 assists. He had 3 points in game 3. So Jake Gunsel really having a solid game 3 in which the Tampa Bay Lightning scored those 5 goals. Nikita Kucherov, interesting here. He's yet to score. Nikita Kucherov, we know how strong he is at getting those goals on the board. He's only had 4 assists in this series. I'm going to take Nikita Kucherov to score a goal tonight. It's coming in at plus 180. So give me Nikita Kucherov, give me Matthew Tkachuk, and give me Sam Bennett. That's where I'm going to look for my points. I do think you can look at Braden point as well. He's so solid out there. If that power play is clicking for Tampa, like I said, I think those power plays start to click, then we're going to see Braden Point get the power play point. But I think it's the Panthers. The Panthers have to win this. And I do think we start off that style of hockey that both of these teams love to do. First period of game 3, we saw both teams score. We saw the over 1.5 cash. Even though Florida only got that 1 goal, I expect the same thing in this one. These teams to come out hot out of the gate. Give me the over 1.5 in the first period at -116. Both teams to score in the first period at +180. Like I said, we cashed in the last game and we had a 5-1 finish for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So both teams scored in the first and then Florida was held off for the rest. Florida is going to be hungry to get the win here in the first period. If you just want to look at Florida in the first period, I would go that way instead of looking at Tampa in the first. So it's going to be a great one here. I'm not sure if Barkov is 100%, but I do think he's a good deterrent out there on the ice for the Florida Panthers. You're going to look at the Habs, Sens, Devils ready for golf season. It's looking pretty much that way. Don't count out the Ottawa Senators, though. Maybe they could pull something off crazy in Toronto for the next game, and then Toronto finishes it in Ottawa. Give me the color. Okay, so the Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars. We're moving on to that one. The Colorado Avalanche are a -137 favorite here on the road. +114 for the Dallas Stars, total 5.5. -140 to the over, +114 to the under. Looking at this, we're going into game 5, right? This series is tied 2-2 apiece. I expected Colorado to take it in 5 or 6 over the Dallas Stars. I expected that speed to come out straight out of the gate and just be too much for Colorado or for Dallas to be able to contain, as Colorado is so fast out there on the ice with Martin, Necas, Nathan McKinnon, Brock Nelson. The additions they added to the Colorado Avalanche is fantastic. Now, seeing it 2-2 apiece, Colorado going back into Dallas. They did win game 1 in Dallas. It was a 5-1 win. We then saw Dallas answer back with overtime wins in game 2 and in game 3. The overtime was 4-3 for Dallas in game 2. They won then 2-1 in Colorado for game 3. And then Colorado evened up the series in that last game. So game 4, we saw Colorado go 4-0 for the win. They won 50% of the power or of the face-offs, and they went 1-1 on the power play. So they were able to convert on that power play, 39 hits, 48 shots on goal. And then we saw Dallas there. So Jake Ottinger was yanked. He came out after the second period. And it's not like he was playing terrible. He had allowed 3 goals on 34 shots. So he wasn't playing terrible hockey, but the coach saying wanted to rest him, putting Casey DeSmith in. I think it's a bad move to ever pull your goaltender. I think it gets in their minds, and it will be a lot for Jake Ottinger coming into game 5 here back at home. So in game 4, we saw the Dallas Stars go 0-4 on that power play. They were unable to convert on the power play. Colorado came out so strong defensively, getting the shutout win there for Mackenzie Blackwood. Now, we only saw as well 23 shots on Mackenzie Blackwood in that game to record that shutout. And I'm really impressed. My biggest fear with Colorado coming into the playoffs was what we would see out of Mackenzie Blackwood. I trust this team offensively, and I do think they have every ability to make a big run for the cup with the speed on their offense, their ability in transition, and their ability to fire that puck at the net and then get in front and get those second chances. So I do love what Colorado's able to do, but I was concerned that Mackenzie Blackwood in his first time in the playoffs would have those struggles, and he's not showing that, you guys. He is absolutely standing on his head for the Colorado Avalanche. He has a 1.60 goals against average, a 939 a save percentage. It's phenomenal. These are the numbers that I would have expected out of Connor Hellebuck and Jordan Binnington. And we've got it here in Colorado with Mackenzie Blackwood. So definitely tip my hat to this young kid out there between the pipes for Colorado. They need to continue to give him the support here because we know Dallas does have snipers out there and they're able to take those shots from the blue line as well as just play a really gritty game. You look at the Dallas Stars, this team wants a dogfight out there, right? They want that low, scrappy style of game. Grind them out, take their opportunities, get their shots, and then once they get the lead, to hold on to that lead. Colorado, really different out there. Colorado wants to use their speed advantage. They don't want to slow things down. They want to run and gun out there on the ice and be able to really capitalize on that transition and how quickly they can move down and take on Jake Ottinger with those defenses of Dallas just missing a beat. So that is what Colorado's hoping for. And the style of play here will be that heavy defensive, protect kind of leads for the Dallas Stars. Looking here, though, which one I think is going to be able to get the win tonight, I really do think it's the Colorado Avalanche. I see this at 3-2, 4-2 because of an empty netter style win for Colorado. Now, I do think with those overtimes, it's really dangerous to take an under in this game, because if we do see that 3-2 situation and we see not the empty netter, we see the goal, then we're going to go to overtime. I still think Colorado can get it done in overtime. I'm relying on Mackenzie Blackwood to continue to play how he's played. So I'll take Colorado to win this one, you guys. It's -137. I know it's pricey, but this juice has dropped. His money's starting to come in on the Dallas Stars. I can't get there. I know they're at home. I know their plus money is a home dog. I know their talent they have there, but I just can't bet them. If you do like the Dallas Stars to get the win, there's a couple of players that I do think can get on the board tonight for them. You look at Rupe Hintz, he's had 1 goal, 0 assists. He's been pretty quiet out there for Dallas. I'm not going to touch him. You look at Tyler Sequin, he's got 2 goals, so he's leading this team with goals. Mikko Rantanen, well, we were all afraid of Mikko Rantanen joining the Dallas Stars because of his impact in the playoffs. He's yet to have that 1 assist out there. I do think if Dallas somehow pulls off the win, is because Mikko Rantanen gets 2+ points. So if you like Dallas to win, look at Mikko Rantanen for 2+ points. Again, I'm not taking Dallas, so I'm not betting Mikko Rantanen. But that combination for me is what would get Dallas the win. Now, Wyatt Johnston, though, I do think he's worth looking at for a goal. He's yet to score a goal, but he has 2 assists out there. He's firing on goal. We know he's a young player out there for the Dallas Stars, and I do think Wyatt Johnston can get a goal tonight. He's coming in at +230. So I will be betting that for the Dallas Stars. And then when I look at Colorado, because this is the team I'm taking to get the win, I'm going to lay the juice on that money line at -137. There's a couple players that I have to look at. I have to look at Cale Makar on the power play tonight. He's coming in at +170. Now, that power play assist is where I'm thinking he's going to get it. If you just want to take the straight up assist, you're going to have to lay juice at -125. You guys know I hate that, but he's had an assist in both games in Dallas. So they're back in Dallas now where he was able to get those assists. Both of those assists did come on the power play with goals by Nathan MacKinnon. So Nathan MacKinnon got the power play goal and Cale Makar got the power play assist. So I'm going to take the power play point at +170, expecting Colorado to be able to, again, convert on that power play. Now, looking at Nathan MacKinnon, I love Nate MacKinnon. He is so phenomenal. The Nate Dogg is the most competitive player out there. You know he's going to be part of the action, but so do the books. So looking at Nathan MacKinnon, 4 goals, 1 assist, 2+ points tonight, coming in at +142. What I can tell you guys yesterday we looked at Evan Bouchard because Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, you're just not getting the value. So then when I look at Nathan MacKinnon, even though I think he's going to get 2+ points, it's only +142. If he's getting 2+ points, well, Cale Makar probably is getting 2+ points, but also another player that has been pretty quiet so far is Martin Necas. Martin Necas on that top line and top power play with Nathan MacKinnon. If Nathan MacKinnon's getting 2 points, Martin Necas, I feel, will get those 2 points as well in tonight's game. Only 1 point so far in this series, so it's a scary bet, but I don't think so. It's coming in 2+ points at +420. I got to take a chance on Martin Necas for 2+ points at +420. Again, top line, top power play unit with Cale Makar and Nathan MacKinnon. That top line, so Cale Makar, defensive man, on that top defensive pairing, and then Nathan MacKinnon and Martin Necas on that top line and top power play together. So if you're looking at other players who have been impactful, Gabriel Landeskog in the last game did get a goal and an assist. So great to see him finally get on the scoreboard after returning from 3 years off. Brock Nelson has had 2 assists so far. And then Logan O'Connor, 2 goals and 3 assists. So he is leading with Nathan MacKinnon for 5 points for these teams. So that's where I'm going to go, you guys. The Avs to win. Martin Necas 2+ points at +420. Cale Makar on the power play for the point at +170. And then for Dallas, Wyatt Johnston for the goal at 2:30. It's going to be a great game. Let me know what you guys are liking. McKinnon or Makar over 1.5 points is a better price than the Avs on the money line. Yeah, it absolutely is. And that's why I give you guys the side and the props that I am liking for sure. West is the best side. Okay, CC. Yeah, CC in the top pairing. On your top pairing is not playoff blue line. Not sure what you're meaning there. CC would be a good look. In this, every series in the East will be 3-1 after Florida wins. Let's keep our fingers crossed Florida is able to get it done tonight. Yeah, Mikko Rantanen, it's crazy. It doesn't seem like he's showed up at all. Let's go, Irish King. That is for sure. Let's make some freaking money. We will. We'll go over those guys to score. Blue, it is fine. Let's make some freaking money. McDavid over 1.5 points is always better than Oilers money line. Oilers to win, he's getting 2 points. Yeah, it's a very true statement, right? But I actually prefer Leon Draisaitl than Connor McDavid because Leon Draisaitl has really been going so strong out there on the ice. But let's get back. It is time for the recap. I will recap those player props as well. So let's just do the sides and the totals, what I'm looking at. Firstly, the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Florida Panthers. I do think the Panthers break what we've seen so far in this series. With the Florida Panthers leading this series 2-1, we've seen the road team win every single game thus far, with Tampa winning game 3, Florida winning the first 2 games in Tampa. I'm looking for Florida to break that trend tonight and go up 3-1 in this series. Give me the Florida Panthers to win. The problem is it is too juiced at the moment. If lines do move down to below -140, I would look at it right now. It's -146. You could look at them to win in regulation, but that could be a little dangerous as well, as both of these teams will be coming out hard. It's going to depend on who is able to convert on that power play, because since game 1, these two teams haven't been able to convert on that power play. But I look at Florida and what they were able to do. Even in the last game to the Tampa Bay Lightning, they outshot this team 34-22. I'm expecting those goals to find the back of Andrei Vasilevskiy's net tonight for the Florida Panthers. I'm going to look at the first period to go over 1.5 goals. That's coming in at -116. Both teams to score in the first period at +180 for a sprinkle too. Colorado versus the Dallas Stars. Colorado, I do think, gets the win. They're coming in right now at -137 on the money line. I know it's juice, but I'm willing to lay the -137 on Colorado to be able to pull it off here in game 5 and take a 3-2 lead in this series. I did have them to take the series as well, and I think they have every opportunity to be able to do so against a Dallas Stars team that really loves to play those gritty, low-scoring games, play a defensive battle. But Jake Ottinger was pulled the last game. Casey DeSmith was put in. I think that's going to rattle Jake Ottinger a little bit going into this one. And I'm looking at Mackenzie Blackwood, what he's been able to do for Colorado, and I think he can steal them this win here in Dallas. Now I'm going to stay off the total as well in this, but I do think this could be a 3-2 win for Colorado, or 4-2 because of the empty netter. Because I think it's going to be that tight. This one has the possibility of going to overtime, just like the other game has the possibility of going to OT. I think between the two of these teams, one goes to OT tonight. So again, staying off that total, because that total, that goal tying things up instead of the empty netter, will push us either over or, it should push us in both cases over that total. So let's do the player prop recap, you guys. Again, I have both Florida and Colorado to win these games today. I know you've got juice on both, but that is where I feel is the best bets for these games. Looking at the players that I would look at for 2+ points. Let's start with who has the most value. 2+ points for Martin Necas of the Colorado Avalanche, coming in at +420. I know he's only got an assist thus far in the series, but he is on the top power play unit with Nathan MacKinnon. He's also on the top line with Nathan MacKinnon. Then I'm going to look at Cale Makar. Again, top defensive pairing for Cale Makar. He's also in the top power play. His power play point tonight coming in at +170. He's been able to get 2 assists. Both of those have come on the power play. It was in, I can't remember which game that was, which 2 games that was, but he has been able to get those power play assists on the board. Nathan MacKinnon scoring those goals. So Cale Makar, power play point tonight at plus 170. If you just want to take the assist because you think he'll get the assist to Nathan MacKinnon or another player out there tonight, it's minus 125. So it depends if you want to lay the juice, but I think either way, he's going to get an assist, either on the power play or regularly. Nathan MacKinnon, like I said, too juiced. I do think he gets 2 points, but you're going to have to only get plus 142. When I look at the Dallas Stars, it's Wyatt Johnston. 2 assists so far, yet to score a goal. I think Wyatt Johnston scores for the Dallas Stars tonight at plus 230. When we look at the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers, I have to look at Nikita Kucherov to get on the board, even though I think Florida wins. He's yet to get a goal. Plus 180 for a goal tonight for Nikita Kucherov of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Braden Point's been cashing for us, so if you want to roll back with him, and Jake Guentzel's been strong, but I'll take Nikita Kucherov. I only want one player from a team that I don't expect to win. On the other side, it is Matthew Tkachuk. That's who I'm looking for. Matthew Tkachuk for the anytime goal for the Florida Panthers, coming in at plus 195. The power play, again, we've had issues with that power play for these two teams. So the power play point is plus 200. If they're not able to convert on the power play, I'd rather just have the goal in my hand instead of the power play point. So I'll take the goal for Matthew Tkachuk at plus 195. I'll then look at Sam Bennett for the point. You guys, Sam Bennett has a point in every game, and we're getting Sam Bennett at minus 104 for the point. I think Sam Reinhart gets on the board as well. He's got 1 goal and 2 assists. So Sam Bennett, Sam Reinhart for points, and then Matthew Tkachuk for the anytime goal. Those are the games today, you guys. Let's make some freaking money. That is for sure. Freddie, good to see you. You made some money in the NBA yesterday. Good for you making money in the NBA. I tell you, I had Austin Reeves, and it was really sketchy with Austin Reeves going into the second half of that game for the Lakers yesterday. Austin Reeves, I rode him for 3+ threes, okay? Austin Reeves going into the second half had 0 points. Okay, 0. Then I was able to live bet him for over 8.5 points on in-game live. He came out, the last time I looked, he had 11. He'd hit his 3 threes. So Austin Reeves was able to get it done, but super disappointed the Lakers couldn't pull off that win. That fourth quarter, the Lakers only putting up 19 points in what they allow the Minnesota Timberwolves to put out, 30? I think it was 32. So Timberwolves win that one, 116 to 113. Live betting basketball has been such a moneymaker. Now, I missed the first original line. I went in on the Lakers plus the 2.5. I then grabbed the Timberwolves when they were down. I think it was in the third quarter, plus 7.5. So I was able to make my money back off of, because I took the Timberwolves plus the 7.5. So I was able to make my money back up with a sprinkle on that money line. But I tell you, I'd rather live bet the NBA. Let me know what you guys do with the NBA. If you'd rather live bet these games, get your numbers in your head for the NBA before you go into it, and then watch these lines move. And that's the best part about in-game live. So make sure you do join me every weekend on in-game live on, every weekend. So it's so much fun. Lakers are definitely in trouble. So disappointing. You know, they got all the talent. They got Luka, they've got LeBron. But then they got Luka and LeBron. That's what they've got. They got Luka and LeBron and Austin Reeves that shows up sometimes. So it was disappointing out there. Yeah, the Knicks, that was a scary game. They won it by 1 point. And was it a foul? That's the question. Was it a foul? Should that have been called? It's just, you just don't know, right? Yes, it was a foul. It's just crazy. But you guys, I will pull out a cup of Joe today. I promise that cup of Joe is coming. It has been absolutely crazy with all of the shows and everything going on. So cup of Joe is loading. I got it. I've got it right here. We're going to do it right away. Kucherov won't score with Barkov on him all day. Yeah, and that's a problem. But I don't know if Barkov is 100%, right? Like, we've seen some big hits in this series. Barkov just got absolutely nailed. So we'll see what happens out there. You guys, all the best in all your bets. I could talk here with you all day. Thank you so much for joining me here on Puck with Joe on the daily. Back here tomorrow, noon Eastern, for another Puck with Joe. Tomorrow's Tuesday, April 29th. How is that even possible? At least I know it's not August. All weekend I was saying it was August, and we know it's April. 4 games tomorrow on the ice. Toronto looking to close it out. Big favorites right now at home. Ottawa rolling in at a plus 140 underdog. We've got Carolina looking to close it out. They're a minus 270 favorite tomorrow over the New Jersey Devils. We've got Minnesota and Vegas, the series in Vegas, with Vegas a $2 favorite. And then the LA Kings back in LA, the favorite over the Edmonton Oilers for Game 5. That series tied 2-2 apiece. I think the biggest shocker when I look at this is the Minnesota Wild and how strong they were able to play Vegas in the last couple. That something I didn't expect, but we got Kaprizov up back in that lineup, Eriksson Ek, and we rode with the Minnesota Wild in the last two just because of how strong Kaprizov looked. But in that last game, Kaprizov, it was his birthday on Sunday, you guys, and he was unable to score that goal. So that was kind of disappointing. I really thought we were seeing Kaprizov. Actually, I think it was it Saturday or Sunday? It's only Monday. It's crazy. But you guys, let's make some freaking money. I'll talk to you tomorrow. The Leafs won the first round versus Tampa on the 29th. 2 years ago, maybe April 29th is their lucky day. I love that. That is a great fact. Make sure you drop it tomorrow so everyone watching the show tomorrow can have that fact. Again, this is Bailey. You guys, all the best. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that retweet button, and we'll see you here tomorrow. 6 anytime goal scorers.